Dr. Ikram Raza, please give your overview.
Assalamu alaikum ji. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me here. And secondly, I am Ikram Raza. I am a graduate from Fatima Memorial Medical College, Lahore. I'm done with my step one and my step two. And currently, I am in between the interview season. And the one thing that I would want to say is that normally, low, I think fourth year का जितना भी आपका course है, that is entirely step one. ऑब्वियसली कुछ चीज़ें उसमें प्लस माइनस कर दें कि एनाटमी हो गई, बायोकेमिस्ट्री हो गई, एंड इस तरह के एक दो बहुत माइनर टॉपिक्स होते हैं जो स्टेप वन का वास्ट मेजॉरिटी है, दैट इज पैथोलॉजी। एंड अगर फॉर एग्जांपल आप बैठ के इसको फोर्थ ईयर के एंड पे अपना स्टेप वन दे दें तो दैट्स आपका बहुत टाइम बच जाता है, क्योंकि आपने जब इतने बड़े स्केल पे पढ़ा हुआ होता है फोर्थ ईयर के लिए, तो इवेंचुअली यूएसएमएलई के अंदर चीज़ों की बहुत ब्रीफ ओवरव्यू होती है। उसमें इन डेप्थ चीज़ें नहीं होती। नॉर्मली ये होता है कि आपको सुपरफिशियली कि जी कोई सिस्टम है, किस तरह होता है, क्या होता है, उसका सुपरफिशियल नॉलेज होना इज इम्पॉर्टेंट। तो बाय द एंड ऑफ फोर्थ ईयर आपके पास सब ये होता है। एंड फॉर स्टेप टू इज इंटायरली आपका फाइनल ईयर। तो गाइनी, पीड्स, इंटरनल मेडिसिन, सर्जरी, इन सब का आपको इवेंचुअली स्टेप वन स्टेप टू इतने इन डेप्थ नहीं होते। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आप लोगों ने यूएचएस के एग्जाम्स देखे होंगे जिसमें बहुत माइन्यूट और माइनर डिटेल्स के अंदर चले जाते हैं। बट नॉर्मली यूएसएमएलई, व्हाट अबाउट फार्माकोलॉजी? फार्माकोलॉजी भी इज वेरी सुपरफिशियल कि फॉर एग्जांपल आपके हर ड्रग के बारे में जो उसके इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं वो जानना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। कि यूएचएस के एग्जाम्स के लिए या जो आपके प्रॉफ्स होते हैं उसके लिए बहुत इन डेप्थ जाते हैं कि जी ड्रग के क्या हाफ लाइफ कितनी है, और बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल्स होती हैं। यूएसएमडी में एवरीथिंग इज़ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल एंड वेरी सुपरफिशियल। तो उसके लिए ये होता है कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम थर्ड ईयर में फार्माकोलॉजी कर लिए एंड फोर्थ ईयर तक आपको इतनी नॉलेज याद रह जाती होती है नॉर्मली कि जिसके अंदर वो हो जाए। तो नॉर्मली स्टेप वन के जो आपके आइडियल रिसोर्सेज हैं वो आपका फर्स्ट एड और यू वर्ल्ड है। ये दोनों आपके गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड आपके रिसोर्सेज हैं। एंड आई पर्सनली थिंक इट वुडंट टेक मोर देन 4 to 5 months फॉर स्टेप वन एंड अबाउट 4 to 5 months फॉर स्टेप टू। पर्सनली अगर आप जल्दी भी करना चाहो आप कर सकते हो। आई गेव माई स्टेप, क्योंकि कंसिडरिंग के स्टेप वन इज नाउ पास एंड फेल, तो उसके अंदर इतना टाइम नहीं लगता। एंड स्टेप टू के अंदर नॉर्मली अगर आपको इंटरनल मेडिसिन जैसे फील्ड में इफ यू वांट टू मैच एनीथिंग अबव 240 इज अ गुड स्कोर, जिसमें आपको नॉर्मली एक अच्छे नंबर ऑफ इंटरव्यू हो जाते हैं। बट फॉर एन आईएमजी एक कंपेरेटिव स्पॉट में होने के लिए हैविंग अ 250 प्लस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बिकॉज अगर आपके 250 प्लस हैं तो उसके सिनेरियो में आपके नंबर ऑफ इंटरव्यूज बहुत सिग्निफिकेंटली एक डिफरेंस आपको नजर आता है। एंड एज डॉक्टर मूनिस मेंशन्ड कि इसके अंदर आपके स्कोर्स देखें, नॉर्मली पाकिस्तान में आपके स्कोर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं। आपकी ये चीज़ें आपकी देखती प्राइमरली ये चीज़ें हैं। बट इन द यूएस आई पर्सनली नो पीपल जिनके फॉर एग्जांपल बिकॉज ऑफ बैड लक और वट एवर यू कॉल इट, दे लैंडेड इन द 230s एंड दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ इंटरव्यूज फॉर वन रीजन। उनका रिसर्च में बहुत फोकस था, उनके एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स में बहुत फोकस था। एंड सेकंड एंड थर्डली इसके अंदर बैठ के जो आपका सीवी जितनी स्ट्रांग होएगी, आपका सिर्फ स्कोर सीवी नहीं बनाती। सीवी के अंदर आपने कितने पोस्टर्स प्रेजेंट किए हुए हैं, आप कितने अपने कम्युनिटी में कितने एक्टिव थे, आपने कितने कैंप्स वगैरह लगाए हुए हैं, ये एक एक चीज़, ये प्रॉब्ली आपके जितने स्कोर्स इंपॉर्टेंट हैं उतनी ही इंपॉर्टेंट आपकी ये चीज़ें हैं। एंड इसके अंदर ये चीज़ है कि एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली दिस इज़ वन थिंग जो मुझे एक बंदे ने मिड इंटरव्यू प्रायर टू द इंटरव्यू बात की थी। उसने कहा था कि जी वी हैव योर सीवी, वी हैव योर क्रेडेंशियल्स, अब मिड इंटरव्यू दे वांट टू नो यू एज अ पर्सन एंड दे वांट टू नो कि आप उनके सिस्टम में जेल इन कैसे करोगे। एंड फॉर एग्जांपल इफ दे हैव अ कैंडिडेट जिसके प्रॉब्ली 270s में है एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड दे हैव अ कैंडिडेट जो 230s के अंदर बैठा हुआ है, बट दे कैन सी कि अच्छा दिस गाय वुड सेट इनटू अवर सिस्टम और जेल इन कर जाएगा इजीली, दे वुड प्रोबब्ली गो विद द गाय जो उनके सिस्टम में जेल इन कर जाएगा। एंड प्रॉब्ली हमारे साथ के वास्ट मेजोरिटी लोगों का मैच इसलिए नहीं होता, प्राइमरीली फॉर वन रीजन कि उनके लिंगो के साथ एंड उनके हम बात करने के स्टाइल के साथ वी कैन नॉट यूजुअली मैच अप। सो दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू गेट मैच देयर। एंड इफ एनी वन हैज एनी क्वेश्चंस तो प्लीज, दो तीन आए हुए भी हैं।
The is there importance of workshops? One of the question is there.
Yes, it is very very important. Workshops are very very important क्योंकि अब आपकी जो इरास एप्लीकेशन होती है, इस पे बकायदा साइट पे आपका एक कॉलम होता है जिसमें बैठ के आप ही अपने वर्कशॉप्स, आपके पोस्टर्स, आपके रिसर्चेस, जितनी भी चीज़ें हम ऐड कर पाओ, दैट इज, एंड सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट इज वॉलंटियर वर्क एंड रिसर्च, ये दोनों चीज़ें ऑन टॉप हैं।
You have discussed the importance of your CV. How it matter how you can make your CV more stronger.
I think the best way of making it, क्योंकि this is one thing that another mentor told me, कि normally the more US based things you could add to your CV, उतना ही आपके लिए अच्छा है। कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैं खुद भी, मैं यूएस में ऑब्जर्वरशिप करके आया था, तो वहां से जी मुझे आई गॉट लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशंस, वहां पे आई हैड द चांस कि वहां बैठ के वो रोटेशंस में ऐड कर पाऊँ, वो चीज़ें मैं ऐड कर पाऊँ बीच में। तो आप यूएस बेस्ड जितना भी एक्सपीरियंस अपना ऐड कर सकते हो, आइडियली फॉर एवरी पाकिस्तानी मेडिकल ग्रेजुएट, अगर आप फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर देयर इन द यूएस फॉर अबाउट 4 to 5 months, और आप 2-2 हफ्ते की रोटेशन डिफरेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में कर लो, डिफरेंट एलओआरस ले लो। रास के ऊपर करंटली एक लिमिट है, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, यू कैन अपलोड अबाउट 4 LORs टू ईच प्रोग्राम। तो हैविंग 4 वेरी नाइस LORs इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आपका LOR जितना स्ट्रॉन्ग आपको मिला वो होएगा, उतना ही आपका मैच करने का और उतना ही आपका इंटरव्यूज आने का चांसेस है। I'll give you one example कि I know someone who did not get interviews एक पूरा मैच साइकिल बिकॉज उसका उनमें से 4 में से एक LOR was very weak. So the moment he replaced that LOR with a better LOR, he started getting interviews. So that is also a thing कि आपके LORs, आपके research, आपकी CV और बहुत सी चीज़ें होती हैं जिनका मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि वहाँ पे वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, तो उस पर आप रिसर्चेस करो। DEI विच इज़ डाइवर्सिटी एक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन, इट्स अ वेरी हॉट टॉपिक इन द यूएस, आप उस पर रिसर्चेस करो। उसके अलावा इस तरह के कुछ बहुत की टॉपिक्स होते हैं जिन पे अगर आपके सीवी में आपने काम ऐड किया हुआ है तो आपके बहुत ज़्यादा क्रेडेंशियल्स बहुत बेहतर कम ऑफ आते हैं।
Acha, over to you, Dr. Manish Raza, Dr. Baloch.
जी जी सर।
Any question? You have raised the question, Kumail Ijaz from King Edward Medical College. Kumail,
Yes. Am I audible?
yes, you are
जी
audible.
Assalamu alaikum. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Kumari Jas from King Edward Medical University. I
Yes, I
graduated
have
in
already introduced you.
2023. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I have completed my USMLE Step 1 and preparing for USMLE Step 2. So my query is, actually, I am actively applying for the observerships as I am aiming for the next match cycle. But I have been quite unsuccessful regarding obtaining it. I have secured a 5 year B1 B2 visa. So my question to Dr. Bonis Razai, can you help me with this query?
sure yeah so are you part of the अपना YPC Facebook group and and
Yes, I
and
am.
yeah so and when are you planning to come? So from अपना YPC platform, so we will start our next observership cycle. So once you so I think you must be planning to come in April May. So before that we will post on the अपना YPC Facebook group, and we will assign you guys the different mentors. So don't worry, we will definitely help you with the observerships.
सर द प्रॉब्लम इज कि जो अपना ने प्रोग्राम शुरू किया था ऑब्जर्वरशिप के लिए, वो डिमांड करते हैं कि स्टेप 2 भी होना चाहिए जब आप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि मेरे
Sure.
ख्याल से जनवरी में उनकी एप्लीकेशंस ओपन होती हैं।
Yeah.
लेकिन तब तक ऑब्वियसली मेरा स्टेप 2 नहीं होगा, तो शायद मैं उसके लिए क्वालिफाई ना कर सकूं, तो उस केस में मुझे क्या करना चाहिए?
तो आप जब आप आपके आने से 1-2 महीना पहले जब आप वो कर रहे होंगे, तो आप then you so at the on the we will post a link again, so you should be able to get the rotations through that link. So it's not like only January, so we post every 2 or 3 months.
Yes. This is
ठीक
not only the January. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Any
ठीक है,
other
थैंक यू
question?
सो मच सर।
Any other question? There are so many questions in the chat box.
So I think Dr. Bukhari, there's one other question by Zille Hasnan Heather, like how difficult it is to cover the 6 to 7 years gap year. So it depends what you have been doing in 6 to 7 years. So let's say if someone was doing FCPS, so that do helps. So you have to cover, like you have to explain like what you did in those 6 to 7 years. Like if someone has done FCPS medicine in Pakistan and has taken USMLE steps and is ECFMD certified, he can actually get into the fellowship route as well. So these days, like you can get into nephrology, ID, and these fellowships by doing a residency in Pakistan, and then you go and do the residency, and you do some other training, like in nephrology, you do transplant nephrology, and after 3 years of training in US, actually you can get a limited license for 5 years. So definitely, always the options are open. So I always tell people that it's never too late in US because it's huge and the opportunities are huge. So I think it's never too late.
अच्छा, एक बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन है कि if there is a gap of the 6 to 7 year, or
जी सर,
it's
जी सर,
it's
वही
very rare, or impossible to get the match with gap year of 6 to 7 year.
जी सर, वही बता रहा था. इट्स नॉट इम्पॉसिबल. आई कॉल इट लाइक नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल इन यूएस. सो इट डिपेंड्स कि आपने 6 7 सालों में क्या किया है. आप ट्रेनिंग कर रहे थे, आप मतलब मेडिकल ऑफिसर की जॉब कर रहे थे. यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन. डेफिनेटली इट विल बी लिटिल बिट टफ, बट इट्स नॉट इम्पॉसिबल.
Anything about the observation?
या
Sadia.
सो Yeah, so observership, yes. So observership, so we will definitely from Apna YPC platform, we will assign different mentors with the mentees for the observerships. So observership opportunities are always there. So I would recommend not to pay to these agencies like thousands of dollars for just for the observerships, because those letters are not good. Those are generic letters. So I would stick to Apna YPC Facebook group. So we will definitely help everyone.
Another important question: how to get started with the step one preparation? Dr. Ikram, can you put the light because you have passed freshly? How to get started with step one preparation?
तो जी फॉर स्टेप वन आपके डिपेंड करता है. स्टेप वन इज वन ऑफ दोज एग्जाम्स जिसके बहुत रिसोर्सेज हैं. तो इफ आई गेट इन टू, कुछ लोगों को पढ़ के बेहतर समझ आती है, कुछ लोग विजुअल लर्नर्स होते हैं, कुछ लोग ऑडियो लर्नर्स, इनके लिए ऑडियो बुक्स बनी हुई हैं.
जैसे
तो
आप
फॉर
सिर्फ वीडियो देखते हो.
मैं नॉर्मली से वीडियो से करता हूँ. तो फॉर मी जो मैंने किया था, आई वॉच्ड एक रिसोर्स है स्केची. स्केची मेरा प्राइमरी रिसोर्स था. साथ मैंने बी की वीडियोस ऐड की थी उसके अंदर. एंड इसके अंदर द गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड फॉर स्टेप वन इज फर्स्ट एड. आप जौन सा मर्जी रिसोर्स, आप बी देखना है, आपने स्केची देखना है, आपने मेडिकल बूट कैंप देखना है, आपने यूट्यूब से पढ़ना है, एक दफा आपने पढ़ लिया, यू गो बैक टू फर्स्ट एड. फर्स्ट एड के अंदर देखो कि सारे पॉइंट्स लिखे हुए होंगे. क्या आपकी रिसोर्स वो सारे पॉइंट्स कवर कर रहा है जो फर्स्ट एड में लिखा हुआ है? एंड वंस दैट इज डन, जो पॉइंट्स रह जाएंगे वो फिर आप कहीं और से देख लो. मतलब फर्स्ट एड इज योर गाइडेंस बुक. एंड एक दफा आप इस पे दो अप्रोचेज होती हैं. कुछ लोग पहले यू वर्ल्ड स्टार्ट करते हैं एंड फिर यू वर्ल्ड के साथ साथ फर्स्ट एड करते हैं. मैंने पर्सनली पहले अपने रिसोर्सेज पढ़े थे, उसके
Okay,
बाद फिर मैं क्वेश्चन बैंक के ऊपर.
the questioner is do not know the about the English, Urdu.
I didn't get it. What do you
He is
recommend?
from outside science.
Okay, so
Okay.
basically, I would recommend going for first aid firstly and then moving on to U World. And once you have your resources covered, just make sure that your two primary resources, first aid and U World, they're covered. If you have both of them covered, then you're good to go. There's nothing more to add to it. But at the same time, if you want to add to your preparation, there are multiple resources. You could go towards Pathoma. There are videos of Pathoma online. There are videos for B&B online. There are actually videos of Sketchy and medical boot camp and a million other resources that are designated for step one and step two if you're looking for it. But at the end of the day, whatever resource that you use, you need to make sure that all the points of UWorld, which is the primary question bank, and first aid are covered within those two resources.
Okay. Dr. Munis, the question to you is the doctors can join observation without step three. I have
Yes.
gap of 20 years. पढ़ने का तो कोई टाइम नहीं होता. डॉक्टर सादिया सुहेल. जी
So yes,
डॉक्टर मोहम्मद
yes.
रजा.
Yeah, so yes, anyone can do observership. It doesn't. They don't have to be ACFMG certified to do the observership. So, and I think that you're saying Dr. Sadi has a gap of 20 years. That's what you're
Uh,
saying.
yeah.
So I have seen people getting matched with the gap, such a long gap as well. So again, the question is, what did you do in those 20 years? And then the next question would be, so when are you trying? So then other things matter. So how much research do you have? How much good scores do you have? What's your visa status? And what specialty you're trying to get into? So you have to add up different things into it. Again, so it's never too late in US.
अच्छा डॉक्टर मोनिस बार बार क्वेश्चन रिपीटेडली आ रहा है रिसर्च का, इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा आप लाइट डालें ऑन द रिसर्च.
तो हाँ, रिसर्च के लिए क्या कहते
How
हैं,
can
डिफरेंट.
we spare research positive position in USA, Dr. Monis Raza? Okay.
Hanji, there are different options, opportunity in US. You can, what you can do is you can do as a like a clinical research associate. तो उसके लिए best case scenario ये है कि around February is the best time to start sending emails. So you need to like send at least 1 to 2,000 emails to different preceptors in US. So you basically, but to apply for like any research associate position. So, but how to be competitive for that position is you can start doing some research back in Pakistan, and then once you have some build up like few case reports or like few research papers in Pakistan, but I would say never ever pay for anyone, never ever pay to anyone in Pakistan just to have your name in the research because that always backfires. And then because so then you have to send like at least 1 to 2,000 emails. So hopefully in the around the February timings, a lot of positions are going to be open because those a lot of research assistants are already getting matched in March. So those positions will open. So that's the best time to apply for the research positions. It's again word of mouth or the emailing.
I think we are skipping so many questions. You can directly raise the hand and ask the question. Dr. Ghulam Shah, very interesting question. Do your region and college of graduation matter? I do not think. Dr. Muniz,
It doesn't matter a lot, to be
doesn't
honest.
matter.
In US, yeah, in US, Americans know only about one medical school. That's, I'm being honest, AKU. So because a lot of people are from AKU are here in
I
faculty.
tell you the interesting story. I think I was in KE as an associate professor in 2004 or 3. One of my students came to me that, sir, I have failed to pass the FCPS. I asked how many times you appeared in the FCPS. She told me that, sir, around about 4 or 5 times I appeared, 6 times I appeared in FCPS, and I was unable to pass. मैंने उसे कहा why not you start the USMLE? Really, I think in those days it was very difficult. जैसे आज डॉक्टर मोनिस रजा ने कहा है कि आज तो बड़ा आसान है. I think in the first attempt, she passed step one, and then after passing the step one, automatically encourage हो जाता है the people. I think मेरे जो अपना तजर्बा है, I also worked as a dean in American University of Barbados there in 2014, in 2013, 14, and I think the in the Caribbean. जितना आसान जो है, जितना easy जो है, that is the step one, step two. I think I do not think FCP. Another important thing to all my students that in nowadays central induction and FCPS had made very difficult to FCPS. On contrary, if you go in the steps, I think it is much better to get the matching or something else. And okay, Dr. Kumail, you are here's the question. Okay, you directly you can ask. There are so many questions.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Uh,
Kumail.
so my question is, what do you recommend if someone doing a 2 weeks rotation, is that enough to get a good LOR in case if he starts the rotations late and he wants to get all the three LORs by the end of ERA's deadline, or one must do at least 1 month rotation at each hospital?
I think it's better to do 1 month, but it's not like that if you spend 1 month at a hospital, it's not like that you will get only one letter of recommendation. So during that 1 month, you can rotate with one doctor, and then you can like let's say if you come to a hospital, You can rotate with the cardiology at the same time. Like after 2 weeks, you can rotate with the nephrology as well. So getting a letter of recommendation in 1 month is very easy. So it's not like that you will get only one letter. But yes, of course, I think if you spend 1 month with someone, that would be much better as compared to spending 2 weeks. So in 1 month, that person would be able to know better about you.
Another question.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Another question is, what is the how much importance is the for the USMLE the clinical rotation? Clinical rotation? What you have
Yes,
asked? Yes.
yes, I think
Electives.
elective. Yeah, electives do help a lot. So that only happens in medical schools if you're a medical student. So basically, elective it's like a real clinical rotation. So where you have the access to EMR, where you work as a medical student, that do helps a lot. And that's I think if someone doesn't have any issues with the finances, and then has an opportunity, I would always recommend to come here for electives because you will be way ahead with your competitors who will be coming late after the getting ECFMG certified. You will already be in touch with your mentor with whom you have to do electives, and that will also help you to get a research spot as well, because most of the elective positions are at the university places, and they also always have some research positions going on.
One question from Azad Jammu Kashmir Medical College, Ms. Dr. Rimzi, Madam Trimzi. I hope you have asked very important question. There is at what time, at which year should I start studying for the test, and which year do people typically give this test? I think after fourth year, as we have summarized. But you, Dr. Mones, can tell more.
So yeah, the ideal situation is you take the USMLE in your fourth year, you start preparing in third year, and you step one take in fourth year, and then right after the final prof or before the final prof, you take the step two CK, so that you apply as soon as possible after your MBBS, so you don't have to wait for the internship or the house job. That's the ideal situation. But again, it's totally up to you. So I decided once I was done my with final exams. At that time, I decided, okay, I want to pursue USMLE. Actually, I did my electives in England, but then I changed my career pathway and went to US. So it's again never too late, but the earlier it's the better it is.
So let me know if some people have, some students have done the elective in one country and they are appearing the step one. Can these electives matter for USMLE?
Not a lot
No.
because the
Only the
US.
electives you are doing in the relevant country, I think, is more important.
True,
Okay,
true,
if
because that's how you make networking and
okay, if
connection.
I okay, sorry, Dr. Monas.
Yes, yes. No, no, you go ahead, Dr. Bukhari.
Okay, if I have skipped any question, you can ask the question before we finish today's program. If I apologize if I have skipped questions because there were multiple questions in the chat box and it was unable so going down fastly. And you can ask the question directly after raising your hand. Okay, Dr. Kumail Ijaz, really another question. Ji, okay, love to ask. Ji, Dr. Kumail Raza.
Yes, sir. So my question is about a research position. सर मेरा जो सिनेरियो है मैं करंटली तो अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ कि मैं नेक्स्ट ईयर मैच के लिए अप्लाई कर सकूँ लेकिन इन केस क्योंकि आप जानते हैं कि थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंसिव पाथवे भी है और उसमें ये होता है कि अगर आपको पेड रिसर्च पोजीशन मिलती है तो वो थोड़ा सा आप फाइनेंसिस भी मैनेज कर सकते हैं और थोड़ा सा मैच भी आपका सिक्योर हो जाता है तो सर इस हवाले से मैंने पूछना था कि कितने चांसेस होते हैं कि आपको पेड पोजीशन मिल जाए क्योंकि जो ईमेल्स वाला पाथवे है उसमें अभी तक जो मेरे सामने चीज आई है उसमें यह है कि आप एटलीस्ट 3000 टू 4000 ईमेल्स आपको भेजनी पड़ती हैं और उसके बाद कोई जाके आपको रिस्पॉन्ड करता है तो
True.
कुछ ऐसा पॉसिबल है कि लाइक वर्ड ऑफ माउथ के थ्रू ये बात आगे पहुंच सके
नहीं, पेड रिसर्च आपको डायरेक्ट नहीं मिल सकती. नो वन इज गोइंग टू पेड यू बिकॉज पेइंग यू it's not that easy. You have to go through the recruitment, you have to go through university and everything. So there's no way that you can land in a paid spot from Pakistan. So you have to come here, you have to do some non-paid research for 5-6 months, and depending upon how you do and and depending upon if your PI has funding, then he can start paying you.
One important question is that
So
can
you
the resident move their family during their residency in America from
Yes,
Pakistan to USA?
yes,
They can.
yes. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I
like
think
immediate, not parents. Like yes, wife and kids. Yes,
only wife and children,
kids. Yes,
spouse,
yes, spouse and kids. Yeah,
not brother, sister, and the
no,
parents. Okay.
no.
Another question is, okay, can you, Dr. Munis, does Dr. Munis provide electives in his clinical uh, subject or not? In your subject of interventional cardiology?
Yeah, so I do provide observerships. So I have given my email if someone wants to come to for the observerships. Yeah, I do provide. But depending upon like how much time available I have, so I like 15 people students did rotate with me last year as well.
I am also sending my number. You can get this video from me, and you can ask the question to Dr. Mones and Dr. Ikram Raza. And what is the ideal time during medical school to go to electives consideration? Yes, this is important questions. For elective,
So for elective, I think the best time is the fourth year. Fourth year is the
for
best time to go for electives, or maybe final year as well.
okay, Facebook link. Yes, the same Facebook link. If you send me the number and when shall with this video, inshallah, we send on the Facebook directly and the YouTube. And how can we contact Dr. Ikram Raza? I have given my number, Dr. Mulazim Hussain Bukhari, 0300. He is my son-in-law. 0300 This is my number. You can contact. And
And I am also adding my email in the chat.
you can, yes, send your email.
And Ikram, can you like share the YPC Facebook group here as well? So I'm not able to do that, I think.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you very much. Before concluding today's session, I will request Dr. Anis Raza to summarize today's topic, today's discussion.
I
And
think I think yeah. A brief summary is I think it's easier to get a training spot in US, and definitely the career growth is tremendous here in US. And one other thing is, it's not like once you come to US, you cannot go back to Pakistan. It's not like you're burning your boats in Pakistan. So you can get training here, and you can go back to Pakistan. A lot of like if you look in Lahore, a lot of US trained people are sitting there. So and before that, a lot of UK trained people are sitting in Pakistan as well. So I think you can still get training here. You can get subspecialty training here and get back to Pakistan as well.
thank you so much, Dr. Ikram Raza. Can you summarize today's today's session?
Gee, the only thing I would want to say is that the earlier you get done with your USMLEs, the better it is for you. And as step one is now pass and fail, I wouldn't consider on anyone waiting too long to give it. I've seen people give it in 3 to 4 months easily, considering the whole new setup with step one. And if you're done with it before your final year, as in before you graduate, it really adds up to your CV because the year of graduation is a very, very important part of applying to the match.
Okay. Dr. Monis Raza, my question to the
जी
this
सर.
generation. हमारे दौर में हम सुबह पढ़ते थे और रात को सोते थे. Now it is opposite. Is there any difference of getting any कोई इसका नंबर या कोई इसका फर्क पड़ता है रात को पढ़ना सुबह सोना में?
I
Why
think
new generation is adopting? They have become night birds.
नहीं सर, मैं तो पर्सनली बिलीव करता हूँ कि सुबह उठ के पढ़ने में बहुत फायदा है, because your hormone everything is attuned to for early morning work routine. So I would personally prefer, like in step one, I used to read like late night, but in step two, CK, I used to wake up at like around 6 a.m. So that was the best time to study. So I used to study till like 12 or 1, and then I was good. So I think the generation has
हाँ
changed,
भाई,
but
Ikram Raza, what is your experience? What you will advise the students to study at night or in the morning to in the daytime? Dr.
Well, I
Ikram.
think I've done both. I've studied all night and I've studied in the morning as well. So I think both of them have worked out perfectly okay for me.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. I am highly obliged, Dr. Monis, especially. You gave the time, and hopefully you have given the email, and I
yes,
have given my contact number, and we will inshallah share this video. डॉक्टर मोइनस Raza, इंशाल्लाह हम आपको तकलीफ देते रहेंगे
it's a
और
good
इस तरह
masala.
के